Breaking news as we come onto the air this afternoon. One of the students shot at Evergreen High School is out of the hospital. The family of Matthew Silverstone shared these photos. The 18-year-old was cheered on by more than 100 first responders and hospital staff. His family says there is still a long road ahead of rehabilitation for him. Matthew was shot twice, once in the head and once in the chest. His heart stopped twice, but his family says he never gave up. After emergency surgeries, he can now speak and was able to say, "I'm still alive."
So good to hear tonight. Also at 4 o'clock, evacuations are scheduled to be lifted at this hour in Pagosa Springs following those devastating floods that we saw. That could be dependent, of course, on water levels, and people are being told to stay alert with the chance of more rain tonight. Evacuations remain in place for those along Vallecito Creek. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Phil Lipoff.
I'm Kim Christensen. Since early Saturday, at least 90 homes have been damaged in La Plata County. Our weather impact team hit the road to bring us coverage from southern Colorado. About 55 miles east of La Plata County, the San Juan River in Pagosa Springs rose out of its banks, causing widespread flooding. 6 inches of rain fell in some places, and there could be more in the next few hours.
Meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen joins us now. And Corey, you've had a chance to tour that entire area. The river is still raging behind you, and the damage is there.
Yeah, you know, we had a very lengthy break today. You can see the sun is out here in Pagosa Springs, and that has allowed the rivers to really dramatically decrease its flow. But with that said, like you said, Phil, you can see the river behind me. This is the San Juan. This is going straight through the middle of downtown Pagosa Springs, and it is still looking very angry. It's technically still above flood stage, which is 10 feet in this location, but it's down more than 2 feet from where it crested this morning. So the damage here is not exactly, it's not easy to tell, really, the damage that this one does, because the San Juan has a lot of room in that river channel, and all it's really done is swelled out of its banks. Completely different story in Vallecito, where we spent most of the day. That river has the ability to get outside of its banks and create new river channels. And that is why the damage in Vallecito is so very extensive. We toured the area with the sheriff out there, and he said that about 90 homes estimated do have some sort of water damage. They didn't go inside evacuated homes. They're just kind of eyeballing the scene to see what homes may have incurred damage. But really, it came down to 2 homes. That was really the most interesting part of this. They call it a flash flood because things can go from bad to worse in a flash, and that's what was happening on Saturday night as the river was swelling, the water was coming down the hill, the banks of the river were starting to erode, and the water was starting to create new channels. There were 2 homes that were teetering on the edge of going into Vallecito Creek, and they basically just had to make a decision very quickly whether to allow those homes to fall into the river or try to prevent that from happening.
The chief began discussions with the homeowners about the danger that's represented by that home, possibly going into the water, coming down and hitting public infrastructure, taking out a bridge, those kind of things. And working with those homeowners, I understand he got consent to go ahead and do the demolition so that we would lessen the danger of further impacts to the rest of the community.
So this is something that I have never heard of before and I've never seen, but they preemptively decided to demo those 2 homes, assuming that they would eventually go into the creek. And what they were worried about was those homes going downstream and just hitting things, causing damage downstream, in particular a very critical bridge, a roadway to that community on the north side of Vallecito. So in just a very difficult decision, as the Sheriff Sean Smith there described, the fire department working with those homeowners, and the homeowners said, yes, demolish our homes because we don't want them to cause any more damage downstream. So those are the 2 instances of homes actually lost. The rest of the damage is water intrusion and roadway damage, which they will be assessing. They're hoping to get people back into that community by Thursday. There are so much going on. There are power lines, there are propane tanks that are compromised, and there are also roadways that are completely washed away, not to mention some water quality issues that they have to work out. That is the reason why people are still being held back from that mandatory evacuation zone. But as the weather kind of improves a little bit, that does make there be a little bit hope that they can get into that community a little bit faster. Reporting now from Pagosa Springs, meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen for the 9 News Weather Impact Team.
It's an incredible story.
Yeah.
Never, like he said, never heard of that.
It's an amazingly thoughtful and selfless decision. Just incredible. I've never heard of anything like that either. Corey, thank you.
And a split-second decision, too.
Yeah, it has to be made quickly.
Now, here in Denver, I mean, look at this. It's just like a perfect day. Some people would say, if I had to say perfect, it's 75.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it's something, Kathy, around maybe a top 10 day. I don't know, you tell me.
Well, and if you're a country music fan, Joe Nichols has a song called Somewhere Sunny in 75. I made that the ringtone on my phone. And that today is Denver, Colorado. It is just about perfect, you guys. And really, Corey's reporting from southwestern Colorado gives me goosebumps. This is so unusual to see flooding play out this time of year. Maybe in the springtime, maybe in the summer we get into that monsoon pattern. But to have something like this happen in October is very rare, very unusual. And you could just see and feel the power of the water and Mother Nature behind him. And Corey and I were discussing, this is a prime concern. Even though the sun is out, it's a beautiful day, there is more water coming to that part of the state in the next 24 to 36 hours. So this story isn't done yet. Meantime, Denver, Fort Collins, beautiful day, beautiful fall October day. We have mid-70s here downtown, 80s in southeastern Colorado, 60s in the mountains. The wind's been picking up for those of you in Parker, Elizabeth, Castle Rock, Highlands Ranch. That south to southwest flow is pumping that moisture back toward Colorado. It's coming in ahead of a low pressure system off the coast of California that's producing some heavy snow in the Sierras, rain as far south as Los Angeles. That moisture will be heading into Colorado. Radar much quieter, much drier, but not entirely. We're still getting rain reports coming in from areas like Creed, another inch or two of rain on top of the 3 to 6 inches of rain that area has already seen. And even with the little respite and the sunshine that Corey showed us, flood warnings remain in effect for areas like Pagosa Springs and Del Norte through midnight, simply because those rivers have not come down enough, and any amount of rain coming in with these showers tonight, the flood watch has been extended out until midnight for that area. Back here in Denver, it's a whole different story. Calm and quiet, a beautiful evening ahead. Coming up, we'll detail the extended forecast for you. More rain coming for Denver and more mountain snow, and much more on the southwest flooding impact in just a bit.
All right, Kathy, thank you. In the meantime, we have an intense rescue in Clear Creek Canyon to tell you about that happened early this morning after a car crashed into the water just off Highway 6. Golden Fire Rescue says crews got to that scene, got that call just before 4 this morning and found a person trapped inside the car, which was being submerged at that moment. Firefighters were able to pull that person to higher ground. That driver was taken to the hospital in serious condition. Golden Fire Rescue says these incidents become more common in areas like this, with construction especially going on near the creek. They say it's important to be aware of your surroundings, especially as winter approaches.
Really pay attention to conditions, changing conditions. This one that, in the middle of the night when it's dark, that you have to come around a corner, you need to ensure that you're driving at a rate of speed that you can make corrections if needed.
As of tonight, the cause of the crash is still under investigation. And we saw a similar situation in Larimer County just last week. The sheriff's office says a car crashed into the Poudre River outside of Fort Collins Friday night. Thankfully, the 2 people inside that car were able to get out safely. Crews were eventually able to haul the car out of the water and up 57-foot embankment. Colorado State Patrol is now investigating that crash.
Ballots are starting to arrive for the November election. Today marks 3 weeks until Election Day. You can vote by mail. Last day to do that would be Monday, October 27th. You can also drop off your ballot in a drop box in your county, and you can vote in person. We have until 7 o'clock on November 4th to get your ballot turned in or vote in person. Denver voters will be voting on whether to ban the sale of flavored tobacco. Our Mark Salinger is looking more into that issue. You're going to see his full story tonight on Next with Kyle Clark. at 6. When you turn your ballot in, it's always fun to have that voted sticker. Now Jefferson County is looking to feature your art in the next round of stickers. Jeffco is holding a sticker design contest. You can submit your designs on the county website. The community will eventually vote on the winner, and then it will be printed for the June and November elections of next year.
Today we learned that Grammy Award-winning R&B singer D'Angelo passed away at the age of 51. His family shared the news saying, quote, "The shining star of our family has dimmed his light for us in this life." D'Angelo died after a long battle with cancer. He released 3 albums in his career, 2 of which won Grammys. His 2014 release, Black Messiah, is considered a standout in the genre of modern neo-soul.